Yeah. Thank you so much.
Yep.
Appreciate it.
Have a good day.
Have a good one. We got Beard Man wrapping the headers right now. I cut myself.
Boo-boozay.
All right, what's going on, guys? Today we are going to be doing the headers finally on this car. I've been wanting to do Catless headers for a while now. Finally decided to get them here in this parking lot, unfortunately, but it shouldn't be too bad. You can get most of the nuts on top of the headers from the top and maybe a couple on the bottom, but it's not that big of a deal. This is the annoying thing about Florida right now. Look at all the love bugs just for driving an hour. This is ridiculous. I'll have to remove your rear bumper, but I like to just get it out of the way. It's really simple. All you have to do is 313 nuts on this side, 313 nuts on that side, and it just slides off, and then you just have to unplug your rear parking sensors. So it's super easy, gets everything out of the way, makes it easier to drop the whole exhaust because it's just kind of like in the way, you know? All right, bumper is off. We have it just chilling in the grass right here. Now I think I'm gonna get some of these engine bay things tidied up, so I just got to remove this right here. I believe there are T27s back here. There's 4 of those, and then this plate comes off. Let's see, what else do I have to do? Remove the coolant hose right here. I already have my secondary air pump deleted. I got to get this heat shield out, so there's a couple 13 mils. Got to take this valve cover off, and then disconnect my cats. And then I should be nearly ready to go. All I have to do after that is just drop the exhaust, and I'll be ready to go to take all the nuts out of the headers and swap these in. Look at these. These are all wrapped up, ready to go. They're looking pretty good, so pretty stoked on that. Got all new OEM hardware as well, the nuts and the header gaskets, and then I also got some N54 exhaust studs. So studs that go into the head, they're going to be N54 ones because they are a little bit shorter, making it easier to fit the headers in, and then they have a Torx bit on the end so you can screw them in. You don't have to do the double nut method. So I thought it was worth the $20 to get all these N54 studs. Okay, we got the heat shield off. Not going to use that anymore because those are heat wrapped now, so you can see the headers now. Got the reservoir unplugged, spilt coolant everywhere. It's bound to happen. It's just water anyway, so. But now we're going to disconnect the O2s, which are right here. There's 1 and there's 2. And then we can get to all the 11mm nuts on the ends. Looks like we might be able to get to the ones back there, but if we have to, we can go under the car. Whatever's easier, you know? But going pretty smoothly so far. It's been about 20 minutes in, so not bad. Just taking all this stuff apart so many times that it's second nature to me. All right, finally, after a couple hours, we got all of the header studs and nuts out. That was actually kind of a pain, not gonna lie. It probably would have been easier if I had a 1/4-inch drive 11 with a swivel and everything, but definitely takes a decent while. But now you should be able to just come loose if I just give them a nice little pull. I have to still take off the exhaust though. There's an E12 up front with a 14 nut, so we're gonna get those 2 off so they get off the headers, and then take the 11s in the back for the muffler, and then the 13s for the little brackets that hold up the exhaust. And then the exhaust is off, and then the headers will be out. And then we have to just install the N54 studs into the head. Shouldn't be too bad. And then put everything back together. Hopefully we don't run out of daylight. I mean, I think we might actually, which is kind of annoying, but that's what happens when you try and do any work on a car in a parking lot. So yeah, let's see if we can finish this before the sun goes down. So here's the difference between the N54 stud and the regular S54 stud. As you can see, that one has a Torx bit on it, so you can actually screw it into the head, where this one doesn't, which is really annoying. So that's why I went with these. All right, so we got all of the exhaust studs in. Pretty tedious just because they had a lot of threads on them, and just getting in there with this little ratchet was kind of tedious, but they're all on there. I noticed a leak coming from this sensor, so I think when I changed that sensor out, I pinched the O-ring, so I'm gonna have to change out the O-ring on that so it's not leaking all over the block. And I know it's from that sensor because I looked on the top and touched around on the top and there was no oil, so that's the highest point. So the shorter Megan Racing header uses the O2 from the longer OEM header, and then the longer Megan Racing header uses the O2 from the shorter OEM header. So just to let you guys know, so you don't switch that up and then get a misfire going on, because it'll do that if you swap those around. Another thing to note when doing Catless headers on an E46 M3, all you need is the pre-O2 sensors, not the post-O2 sensors. So the post-O2 sensors, they tell the car if the cats are in good condition or whatever. So you don't need those because you don't have cats anymore. So just block those off. They actually came with these little bolts that go right in there. So yeah, let's toss these things in. So those up front, put those in first. So I didn't install them, but like I just kind of rested them up there. And then the second ones slid in there just nicely. So now we're gonna actually mock it up to the studs and start tightening them down, and should be ready to go. All right, so we got the coolant hose all hooked back up. We got the reservoir back in where it's supposed to be. Honestly, the nuts for all of these, because the way the headers are made, were a lot easier to tighten up. So that was definitely a breeze. We're gonna leave the heat shield out because I have the heat wrap and I just want to be able to see the headers. So yeah, we're gonna put the valve cover back on, put this back on. I gotta hook up the exhaust in the bottom, and then put the strut bar on, and should be ready to start right up. Hopefully there's no leaks, crossing my fingers. All right, we got everything all hooked up in the engine bay. Because I live in Florida and it's 1,000 degrees 90% of the time, got distilled water as the coolant, and then I just run some Redline water wetter in there, and it's been pretty decent. Just gotta fully bleed the system, so have the car jacked up. It's the best way to do it. Just keep it jacked up, leave this off, and then crack the bleeder and let it idle for like 5 hours or so. That's how it seems. Seems like you have to just let it idle for a while, maybe give it some gas here and there. And once it stops bubbling out of here and out of there, you should be all good, set to go and fully bled. All right, first startup. Let's see how it sounds. Sounds like something's leaking. Yeah, it's leaking out of there. That is smoking pretty bad because of the heat wrap, but I guess I gotta tighten that up. All the heat wrap's just burning away. I hate that it didn't come with a gasket for that other one. It just sounds like it's completely leaking. now it's just completely coming out, no more bubbling or anything, so it's finally bled properly. This is just eating all the water. I just have this sitting right here, so it forces water, and as you can see, it's just all leaking out now. So I'm gonna let it idle a little bit more with the water right there, just to make sure there's no more bubbles. Thank you, Rock, for helping me when my car is too low. So we're at Mitch's right now, changing. I'm just putting my old gasket in there. Hopefully it seals it up pretty well. And then we're gonna go test out our cars a little bit. All right, so we're about to go out right now. We got Mitch right there. We got the side skirts back on.
Don't mind
the actual orientation they were supposed to go. But, I mean, you're gonna wrap it anyway, so
yeah, so it won't really
doesn't even matter. And then you just gotta get a new rear bumper. Because
You
you've literally broken how many?
Two bumpers. Yeah. And the click tuning kit.
Yeah, it's looking good, bro. We got the M3. I fixed the stupid leak. It's not leaking anymore, so that's good. And yeah, we're just about to go out right now.
Yeah, it's gonna be a good night.
Let's get it. It definitely sounds really similar to when I had catted headers, but I just need to get a new section 1 probably, because there's still, I believe there are cats in there. I don't know. I think it's maybe resonated. I don't know if it's cats or resonated, but yeah, I think that they are catted. Don't quote me on that though. Take it pretty easy today. Just gonna hit up a couple back industrial parks just to get some quick practice in before OSW this weekend. So yeah, we're gonna be there this weekend and it'll be pretty awesome. Hopefully I'll be able to be an A-class driver in tandem with Mitch. We're looking forward to that a lot. It's so weird following Mitch in this thing instead of the E46. It's kind of messing with my head a little bit, but just got to get a little feel for it, for sure. For some reason. Oh, there's a car. pressure on these tires. They're really grippy. So yeah, the car is like really bogging for some reason. I should probably air up the tires because these 265s are really not trying to get loose. So I might go ahead and do that, honestly, or just get used to it. But I just got to stay in the power band for sure.